Jefi Moultrie, I've got a question for you.
Ask away, bud.
Okay, we're going to do a little role play here. Okay,
Oh, no. This
all
scares
right,
me.
so
Okay.
you get a voicemail. You go to your phone. You got a voicemail. It's like 3:00. Okay, and you look at your phone. And this is the voicemail. Hey Jefi, it's Ed. Hey, I've got a referral for you for San Diego. Give me a call. I want to talk to you about it. Okay. So now you're calling me back at 3:02.
Yep. Hey Ed,
Okay.
it's Jefi. Thanks so much for calling me about the referral.
Oh yeah, yeah, Jefi. Thanks. I got bad news. I sent that out to like 3 people, and some other realtor took that referral. I'm so sorry, but I'll think of you on the next one.
Yeah, this is why we're doing this podcast right now. That was 120. I missed that referral by 120 seconds. I just want to know.
You missed that by 120 seconds. So.
I just want to know what they did to vet the referral.
That's right. So everyone, we are calling this one resisting the rapid referral. And that situation rings true for Jefi. She's going to give a little backstory on it. And I think it rings true for every realtor. We've all been in that situation. But why don't you give us a little bit of the backstory?
Okay. So just over the last 2 years, and I understand that we have been in an insanely rapid market. I get that. But what I do personally, and what I think, I hate to say what I think the best thing to do is, 'cause it sounds like I'm being a narcissistic butthole, but how can you best serve your clients? Jefi, no filter. Okay. How can you best serve your clients if you don't even know who you're referring them to? So the way I think that a referral should be given is I call Ed and I say, Ed, I have a client. I want to make sure you're a good match for them. You were referred to me by my coach, Julie Pergola. But before I send you their name and information, I just really want to make sure of a few things. Give me a call back. Then I will wait that time. I will have also prepped my client, who I'm going to be referring to you, that it's going to take me 24 hours to find them the best match. You can say 48, you can say 72, you can say whatever you want, but just prep your client that you're getting ready to refer, that the reason it's taking that amount of time is because you, me, want to make sure it's a good match. Then when we chat, we go through some things. We're going to go through those points later. But I have had, over the last 2 years, more of those 120-second callbacks where it's gone into the ether before I could even dial the number. And it's irritating to me. I'm sorry. I don't even care if I don't get the referral, but at least ask some questions before you give somebody one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if we're looking big picture here a little bit, it's not speed dating.
No,
it's a very, very, personal, to get the right fit for the right realtor. There should be some vetting and some things that you do. Right. And it just takes a little bit of time. So shall we zoom in on that, on what we think the right process is, and not the speed dating answer?
Sure. Do you want me to give you a little story about my Hawaii referral first?
Oh yeah, I want to hear that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is a great example. I had a client moving from San Diego to the Big Island. And, I live in San Diego, so I am culturally a San Diegan. And so I called and talked to several agents on the Big Island. All of them took about 4 days to get back to me. There wasn't one more rapid than another. And my little San Diego client is in the background going, oh, where's my referral? Where's my referral? Because she's excited and she wants to get this. So finally I get these people on the phone, and, Hawaii is a different movement of life. Like, it is, what did they say? Well, aloha, right?
Yeah,
aloha.
It's slow and easy, baby.
Lunch is 10 hours long, whatever. So one of the things that I found interesting is that every one of my referrals really was the Hawaiian attitude. So when I picked the best of those referrals, I had to be really careful that when I gave that information to my client, that they understood these are not San Diegans. These are Hawaiians. They're moving at the speed of Hawaii. So be prepared for your call to not be returned in X amount of time, because I'm setting my client up for success and I'm setting the other agent up for success. And I can imagine that is around the United States, Canada, and Mexico too. I mean, everybody has a different culture for how they react to things.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the cultural piece. It's funny you talking, it made me think about a referral that I sent out to Jackson Hole a couple of years back. And, it was interesting because my client, they wanted to buy a second home there. And I said, okay, let me do some homework to find the right agent. I looked at the Buffini network, which is top agents, logical place to go. And there wasn't anyone in Jackson Hole. I mean, it's a tiny place, right?
Right.
So I reached out to the nearest office and said, hey, I'm not asking you to do this, but, and an agent that I knew that was, within like, it's Wyoming, right? So like within like 100 miles.
Right.
And said, who do you refer to when you have a Jackson Hole client? And she knew the perfect person. She'd been the president of the board of realtors. She was like dialed in.
Yes.
Then I made that additional call in, had the discussion. It was the right fit. That took about a week to get that all put together. But then I was able to know the complete background and have the right fit for my client. They had a very successful transaction.
Right. This is interesting too, because one of my good friends who's also a realtor, her name's Laura. She works here in San Diego. She says, if you want a good realtor, hire a busy one. And sometimes you have to wait. And which is true because, if you're good in your craft, you're going to be busy. So sometimes it does take longer. But again, all right, let's zoom in a little bit. You ready for this?
Let's do it. Okay. What's the first point?
Take the time to assess your client's needs. All of our clients have different needs. A lot of times if you're referring them, they're moving from place to place. They're not moving within the same city or the same state even. Usually they're moving cross country or out of the country. You want to get as many details as you possibly can, just like you would on a listing appointment or a buyer's appointment. Price, location, their style, their personality. You and I both get clients that are referred to us that aren't for our areas because we have a network of agents that refer us business and then we help them find referrals. So that would be really important to get either to talk to the actual client, not just pass the referral through the agent to the other person. Client style and personality, what's important to them. Then when you're interviewing and vetting the agent, at least you have a ground to stand on.
Right. And you've got a great you've got a great example there on that Hawaii story, right? Because if somebody's uber rapid and then you're in a culture where it's not, you've got to like see who can come up and can they come down and how that's going to work.
Absolutely.
No, that's really, really good. So I think very important, take the time to, do the needs assessment. Just don't, boom, fire it off. I think point number 2 is vet the agent.
Yes.
Take the time to make the call and understand the agent. Is it a good geographical match? Do they have the time to service the client and serve the client?
Right.
Especially in this market on the buy side, it can take multiple times. Do they have that time? Be a good matchmaker. Right. And my criteria to get back to the rapid referral, it's not who can pick up the phone the quickest. It's like who's the best fit for the client.
Right.
Because
ultimately, if we're talking about that, Ed, the best fit for your client is an ultimate win for you as the person who's referring them and for the client. So if you really truly only took 120 seconds to choose who you were going to use, shame on you.
Right. Yeah, because that's an internet lead. That's not a referral.
Exactly.
Right.
God. All right. Point number 3. Yep. leaning into your referral network. We are very lucky because we are part of the Buffini network, and I know we bring that up a ton when we're talking, but it is one of my most favorite things because there are like-minded agents who are doing similar business, who treat their clients the same that you and I do. Now, there's some outliers sometimes, and there's things that happen, and I get that. But we are so lucky that we can lean into that. And that's really the whole reason we do this podcast, is because we love to connect and put people together all over, Canada included. I don't have a ton of people in Mexico, but I sure as heck could find somebody for you. But,
right.
This is it's who you know, the power of who you know. And if, just like you did for Jackson Hole, you didn't have somebody there, you found the closest person, you leaned into another network, you made it happen. You didn't just go, oh, well, let me just pull up, the phone book.
Yeah.
Is that obsolete at this point? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Or Google or whatever. You went into the relational piece of that to make sure that your client was taken care of. So good on you for that one.
Yeah. I think to that point, you mentioned the power of who. It reminded me of that conference we went to, Bob Bondurant's book, the Power of Who. And we saw him speak at a conference where the whole theory is, everyone you need to know. Mm-hmm. So if you need a good referral, lean into that network and ask who you know. So if I needed someone in Laguna Beach, for example, I'd call you, Jefi, because you're within 100 miles of there.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I'm looking for a great agent in Laguna Beach. Who do you know? Now, you might not know, but you'd say, you know what? I know somebody that's really, really good in Newport Beach. Let me, why don't you reach out to them? And now I'm like one step closer. And
exactly.
And that's how that works.
Exactly. So this whole, and for us, we have all of the Buffini Facebook groups and everything, and you're just in there. And sometimes I have to really stop myself because I have FOMO. Oh my God, why didn't I get referred for that? Or why didn't somebody think of me? And it's like, okay, whoa. Let's take this down a notch, relax. And if that person was really vetting somebody, I think I would be at the top of the list for San Diego. Now, not everybody might think that, but it's just, I know that if someone's properly referring you, I will have an opportunity in there at some point.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, bud. What's the bottom line?
Okay. The bottom line, I think the way you really want to look at this is you're entrusting your client or your client's friend or family member that they've referred to someone else. Mm-hmm. And so you really need to vet the situation, take the time to do the needs analysis, and then lean into your network to get the best fit. Because that's really serving the relationship. And in the end of the day, that's what it's really about. You want to go the extra mile and make sure that you can put your name on it. And it's like, this is a good fit for you. Given what I know about your needs, this is a good fit.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
This came up in the teams seminar that we went to. And that is that sometimes you refer people and it's not a match, and that's okay. It's how you handle it when it's not a match. I've also very humbly missed a phone call and have to say, I screwed up. I didn't call that person back, or I didn't do this. We none of us are perfect, but to keep that communication going. And what I did is I called back and said, I missed the call. I apologize. If you've already passed a referral on, I respect that, but I just did not want another moment to go by without me calling you. So in trusting your client to someone, know that there's a chance that it might not be a perfect fit, and have a game plan, and also have a conversation with your client to know to come back to you if they feel it's not a good fit.
I love it. Well, I think it's, remember it's not fast food, it's slow food and slow referrals.
All right, everybody.
All
Talk to you
right.
soon.
See you later.